All right, welcome everybody. Sorry for the delay there. Trying to make sure things are right. I blame Sticks intern. Blame my mom. I blame Kupo for being so patient with me. This can go on forever, but I hope you like it. They're not superimposed. I want to believe. Anyhow, did a lot of winter cleaning over winter break here. We have quite a show for you. Before we do, let's get some intro going. Hey, welcome, Kupo. Thanks for joining me today. Thank you, everyone, for being so patient.
Thanks for
As
having me,
mentioned
Sarge.
earlier, yeah, we've got quite a show lined up for you. A whole lot of prep work went into this, and as always, just quite truly appreciate you all community. Kupo, I appreciate you, man. Let's start with your New Year's, your holidays. How were they?
Oh, great. It's just been like one party after another, to be honest with you. Nothing too crazy. I'm too old for that. But again, hanging out with a lot more family this past week. So I'm actually kind of happy I get to see some faces I see all the time, as well as faces I don't see as often. Actually, just before this stream, I was hanging out with another friend who had her birthday pretty recently, and we were all having a small get together. I was like, guys, I don't want to hold up, but it's almost 11:30. I got to get out of here.
Uh, I love it. Yes, Maddie, this is the first background reveal. A lot of I've got to do a lot of work. The angle's funny. The background and the garage cleaning took a lot of effort. The last minute trying to get the camera to work and stuff, that was very scurried. Thank you. There we go. Knights, thank you very much for the 100 bloaters. Very much appreciated. With that said, Kupo, did you catch your first 49 through 29 hot takes? What do you think of them?
Oh, it was great. Very well put together, Sarge. It was fantastic seeing some of our great community members coming together to put their insight into each of those outtakes that you put up there. I even myself was on there. I was like, "Whoa, that's what I sound like." But yeah, fantastic work there. I'm actually quite excited to see these other final 28s with you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited to have you all watch them together. Any hot take that stood out from the ones you watched?
To be honest with you, everybody had such insightful points. To just point out one would be unfair to everybody else. Everybody had their own opinion to that just contributed, whether it was their thoughts that they believe that's going to happen with the project, or things that have occurred within the project, or just their own personal opinion. There is just so much that was involved there. It's really hard to say. I like what Shane had to say. I like what Christian Peter had to say. Grady always bringing like great stuff to like the project. There's just not a fair opportunity to say it was only one good hot take. I felt everybody that contributed did a very good job.
I must say it took me several dozens of hours to put this together. So I'm very excited to have you all check it out. Let me do this here. Sorry, I had another me in the background chatting. I was like, what's going on? Um, all right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with some of these. I do have that donate feature up that Mr. Two Noobs helped put together. don't feel obligated. I'll continue to keep them up. I'm a bad self promoter, so what I'll do instead is I'll let Sergeant Filthy McSanders do the talking for me.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
And not necessarily, but if you care to donate something, very much welcome, very much appreciated. No pressure. With that said, what I will ask is, no, please do hit the like button, leave a comment, tell your friends, get more people in here. If you care to share, feel free to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and if you've not seen 49 through 29, feel free to catch those at some other time. But let's go ahead and get started with number 28 here. We'll do a bit of chatting here on the back end.
I want to say I love Sticks Intern's t-shirt from yesterday. That was so awesome, bro. That was a great t-shirt. If you guys haven't seen it, go take a look at that stream from yesterday. Banks are probably the crux of most of the evils on the planet, as Thomas Jefferson alluded to, long ago. But unfortunately, they're a way of life right now. What we need to do is, instead of fighting banks, we just need to include people into this crypto system that allows us all to hopefully raise the tide. Once people self-custody their own assets, it's just people are scared, right? They've always relied on a third party to hold things for them. Ever since I was little, they said, take your money and go put it in the bank. That's the only safe place for it. But as we all know, banks are the most unsafe place you could possibly have your money. All they are leveraged bond funds. So what we all need to do is get more people into the ecosystem as quickly as possible. I think when we heard yesterday on the AMA, especially with DFK, was we want to know how to onboard people into DFK, not have them go through all these different steps and have to figure it out like, oh my God, I got to get my money to Coinbase, and I got to get my money into a MetaMask wallet, then I got to bridge over to AVAX, and I got to bridge over to DFK chain. It's just such nonsense. That whole account abstraction that they were talking about yesterday, I love that. That's basically a login and a password. You log in, you put your password in, you're playing the game. No wallets, no nonsense. We need more people in the ecosystem. And the only way we're going to do that is start thinking like, okay, let's make this easy on everybody to get in here, learn what they need to do, and get more people involved in Web3 and raise the tide.
What do you think of that, Mr. Kupo?
Great, as always. There's a lot of great points that are in there. Like I said, these are some awesome points that these guys are taking here. And the fact that you took this time to compile all these little hot takes together is just great in its own. I mean, I hope that you are in there for a couple of these hot takes, because you bring up some great points also to the table also. But wow. I mean, these are just incredible. Just to see our community members just bring up this type of concept is just amazing. I'm actually very thrilled to hear everything that's going to be happening tonight.
Mr. Sticks Intern, thank you very much for the 50 Jade. Very much appreciated. No pressure, everyone. Jade Boys, thank you very much for the donation. Sticks Intern, interesting here, right? He thought he's surprised it's not a number one take. Do you want to speculate as to who maybe number one, not what it was, but who had a number one take? So many guests. I mean, really, what it comes down to is, and if you're not featured here, don't you worry. Let's take a look at this next one. Starbuck, what do you think of that? Do we need to craft these items tomorrow because we need burn mechanics for these inflationary tokens? What do you think?
Well, we can't craft anything right now, so
not right now. That's true.
I think
but soon.
Okay. Well, I think that right now is a unique time, and I said this in the chat in our Mythic Squad chat today. There's a lot of things that we can do today that are affordable. That because of where the token prices are, the whole reason I'm stacking heroes right now is because I can afford to stack heroes right now. In April of last year, I couldn't afford to stack heroes. And, if you had 10 heroes, you were kind of feeling pretty good. Now you got 100 heroes. People are like, oh, well, just keep summoning. You can do it, So the point is, I think that if as the tokens are low right now, because we believe in the project to really, take off, Of course, you want to get in what you can, and you want to craft what you can while you can afford it, while it's within means. If you wait until it's actually usable, you don't know what the token prices are going to be at that time. And if you had the opportunity to look back and say, hey, my $100 today could craft me 100 items, and my token in the future, if it's my $100 today can craft me one item, and I got to wait till my next paycheck to do it, I don't know how savvy you are to do that. So my whole take is, do what you can afford to now, and if you really support the game and you think it's going to be, really going to take off, if you really think this is like the next crypto gem, then you might as well take advantage of where we are, because you believe in where we're going.
Kupo, do you believe in where we're going, buddy?
Oh, yes. I feel 2024 is going to be our year, not only for crypto, but DFK and everything in this cryptoverse also. So I'm actually very excited to see where we're going to turn about. It's been a tough couple of years here with this bear market. So hoping for that turnaround that we're all looking forward to.
Yes, I am, Beef. Thanks for noticing. I really appreciate it. Stack them heroes, stack them. Let's see, number 26. Let's see who we have up.
And this isn't to take away from you, because I think that what you're saying is exactly what is the important aspect here. I think the people that we've got sticking around right now, specifically with DFK, are people who are, not to offend anybody, but either suffering from the sunk cost fallacy, I gotta get it back, I can't leave right now, or the people who actually
Who told you my
the
secrets?
potential, right? Or the people who actually see the potential of the development, right? Like, I mean, we can sit there all day and talk about how, it's going to be a great game. I can't wait for this to come out. I can't wait to sink 9 hours of my day, right, into playing DFK.
That's it.
Just like, yeah, right, Jay? I'll take it easy on DFK. Only 9 hours. But I mean, there has to be something to grasp onto first, right? Like what Rizen's saying, like there has to be a physical product, or else people are only going to be able to window shop if they can't come inside the business to get something they can hold on to.
That is absolutely right, Sticks intern Wowie calling us out in front of everyone. But to Wowie, my response, just looking at it in retrospect, why not both? Why can't I be overinvested and believe in the project? I mean, Koopa, where do you land?
Where do I land? I would love to be overinvested, but I mean, on a financial point, I can just put in as much as I can afford. As the typical crypto rule goes, don't put in more than you can afford to lose. So I'm a small fish in comparison, but I feel very rich with this community. Honestly, I've been working with you guys as much as I can, doing my own strategies, believing in what I feel is going to be the right step for me, getting my heroes out there, putting in the right LP pools, getting my heroes ready for crafting and combat. So everybody plays their own unique way, and I'm just interested to see how everything's going to play out this year with what the community is going to introduce, and with the potential uprising and what could be a bull run if we're able to get crypto on the right track.
Absolutely. Be easy. SI's got a secret crush on you. You guys need to talk about that. Mega Bloater Boys, thank you very much for the bloater. Mega, the numbers we used to do a game show. I mean, we still have game shows. I got to the point where I stopped awarding points, but we'll get back there. Don't you worry, Mega. And who knows? Maybe you come and join us one of these times. All right, so that was number 26. Let's go ahead and hit video number 25. I've already played a pre-alpha, but pre-alpha, should it be released to the masses? And what did you vote on, and why should it be a no?
I'm yes. Totally only listening to every word of this, Raph. Don't worry.
I voted yes. I want the pre-alpha to be released to the community. And when I was out at Wisdom Labs, I had the opportunity to interview Ian, also see how handsome Bolin is in real life. And boy, I tell you, I mean,
objection.
And in interviewing Ian, I asked him a question around Blades of Glory as a metaphor, but why are they building a complex game? And he said, because they can build a complex game. And I think fundamentally we have to keep that in mind when answering this question. They have built an incredibly intricate and complex game that matches the intricacy and complexity of the genetic system of the underlying heroes. If we wait for this game to be in beta or in final stages, we could be waiting another year. And so I think that getting a pre-alpha in, just like they said on their tweets, it allows us to give them valuable data on how the game is played. And I hope that the community can rally around the idea that this is pre-alpha and that we are delivering amazing information and that we, the community, are ultimately helping build this.
I love it. Bull on. I mean, what are your takes? How many points? Pre-alpha, a good thing. They get feedback. What do you think?
I mean, that's I gotta give that 1500. That's on point. He does have an advantage, and I do acknowledge that. I do, if Sarge will agree. I'd give you 10 seconds to generally comment on what you saw.
Oh my God, yes.
Wow.
I'm dying to know.
Wow. All right, only 10 seconds. That's a lot. Or not enough. I mean, you know, what I would say is I love that what I saw fit the feel of the game. It took all those things, the nostalgia that brought us into the game that we loved. Playing it, I felt that. It felt like an extension to what we already have come to love about this game. Sure, there's a few glitches here and there. And then I love just being around all these big brains. These guys are geniuses, and they're building this with the idea of it becoming an esport, and I believe that we'll be able to deliver a playable game well before that happens. So they're building not just the first step, but the second, third, fourth, and fifth step down the road. You know, if the crypto industry withstands, this is going to be a major and a massive game in the future.
Let me ask you this.
Thanks,
and then
Bola,
we'll go on
for
to the next
giving me
question.
the unleashing me there.
Your 10 seconds will start in another 2 minutes, so if you want to keep going.
Yeah, no kidding. I have to ask you this before we move on. On the scale, on the spectrum of not interested to the wife had to pull you back from selling the house to put more money into the game. Where does that? Yeah, on a scale from 1 to 10, I mean, how much more like pumped were you about DFK?
I've invested twice on each of the last paychecks. This is not financial advice.
NFA for sure.
Yes,
And
it is financial advice. Go sell your wife, sell your husband, sell your kids, and go to the damn tavern and buy up all the heroes, baby.
Sell the wife. I mean, that's FA, I suppose. Sir Worm, thank you very much for the 69 bloaters. You are always welcome back. In fact, anyone listening to this, if you want to ever jump on, DM me. That might be the easiest way to sort of get in my head. What ends up happening, and Kupo's gotten to know this about me, and so have some of the other guests, is I'll message you on a Thursday, sometimes a Friday morning, and say, "Hey, are you available to show up?" And my wife will tell me, "Hey, wow, I can't believe you got a group of people to come join us." Like, I message just about everyone I could, but what that means is these frequently invited people jump to the top of my Discord because I go top to bottom. Chances are you probably end up at the bottom. I don't end up reaching out to you, but Sir Worm definitely invited back. And and I love what he said. Maybe next year I can be take number 69. Anyhow, Koopa, do you remember that day? Do you remember the day that the whole Wisdom Lab trip that the group DFK team took, and who was it? Raph and Grady were there as well. I mean, it's the origin story of the Pervy Sage song, if you guys have all heard it. But any fond memories of that event or that period in time?
I just remember them just talking about how they had the new partnership with Wisdom, and basically, of course, that's how we got Workhorse in the end. But yeah, I remember how, like, honestly, I think some of the fondest memories I had was just the fact that Second Best Dad was leaving doodles everywhere.
Yes, that was definitely memorable. Who was Surgeon 3? I was having technical difficulties. before my new computer. If my setup today could see my setup, then it totally trolled it. Anyhow, that was take number, what were we, 25, 26? It was 25.
I
We'll
think it's
find out.
25.
Yes, it was 25. Number 24. I'm not impressed. I want more yesterday. What do you tell those people?
They are. It's just a meme at that point because, like, holy shit, this team delivers. Like, honestly, we are once because now that we have this combat testing, next thing up is level 10 profession quests and our eggs and pet utility. The next thing we're gonna be bitching at is for the bot developers to have our auto feeding set up, and then we're gonna be thinking about, all right, well, how much am I actually bringing in and how much am I feeding, and we're gonna have so much other stuff to think about, and so I think this is literally like the feedback loop, like closing that we've needed for a while, and then not to mention like when we're using potions and stuff. We're really like looking at a golden age, so I'm with Grady. Like I'm like at like the most like euphoric point of our fundamentals yet. I think the golden age is coming.
The golden age is coming. Kupo, is the golden age here? I think that was filmed, maybe recorded film. Ha!
I think we're on the brink of the golden age, honestly.
Oh, can you feel it?
Yeah, I feel like something's going to be happening for this year. I mean, we had ourselves those high points in when the DFK project first came out. You and I kind of jumped in at the high, and then everything kind of just hit the bear. So I think it's going to be coming back. I think we get to finally get that wave, and many of our great community members that we've grown to know over the months to years are going to be joining in on this like new age and new golden age of crypto. So I'm really hoping that we're all there together. We're all winning it together.
Hey, and Dags, I see you. Music a bit too loud. I can't fix it on my end, unfortunately. So please bear with me. Like I said, blame Sticks intern. It's all his fault. He's failed me on intern duties. Bloater boys, thank you very much for the 5 DFK bloaters. Let me see. That was number 24. Let's go ahead and hear take number 23. They don't maybe like it, they're disappointed, whatever. What are you gonna tell those people?
Well, honestly, I would tell them, me too. I want more yesterday. But I mean, we're on the drip feed for these updates. There's been no other company in the gaming industry ever that has been more transparent with their development as they update it. We've never seen anything like this. As my fellow gamers would know, and as Nindorf has already said, these things take years and years and years. I mean, how long does each new Pokemon generation take, right? For perfection. You know, sometimes it'll take years and years and years to make a game that's got 5 to 12 hours of content. We're making something that's going to last years and years and years for updating. And to the people that say too complicated, too niche, I say there's a 4 baby section in the App Store. Maybe you should peruse around there.
We got tool tips.
Flip the script on them. If it's too easy, then there's no fun and there's no journey. We're 1/1000th of the way there, and I feel incredibly lucky to be here.
Hey, I feel incredibly lucky to have Wowie here. The 4 baby section got me. Koopa, what did you think of that take?
Oh no, that was fantastic. Like I said, we got so much wisdom from our community members. Just to hear them a second time at their finest moments is just wow. Like this is like putting a big smile on my face just hearing somebody's best points that we've got from our most amazing community members. So yeah, I'm right up there. I'm only curious to see what you might have picked out as number 1 with all these awesome hits that you've already been putting up.
It was really hard to pick them. And I know you said that, you know, it was wow. I would argue to say it was a wow take. Yeah, no. So I think Maddie had asked me, how did you end up picking these? SI, you have failed me. No, you haven't. Thank you very much for the kind donation. So how did I end up picking these? It was a very laborious process on my end. So what I wound up doing is, after listening to hours upon hours upon hours of myself at 2x speed, among all of you, I snipped those clips. I put them into a top 50 percentile, bottom 50 percentile. They were all hot takes, but I had to narrow them down, right? And then from there, sort of made smaller piles and so on and so forth to come up with this top hot take. I want to know from everyone here at the end whether or not maybe I botches, maybe number one isn't as hot as some of these other ones. Who knows? We'll find out. That was hot take number 23. Let's hit number 22, Kupo.
I think what he's trying to say is that GameFi and video game players are going to be the force that pushes users in this game into the mainstream. That's a fact. It absolutely is. So they do need to build, but it has to be a collaborative effort of marketing, and you have to be creative. You have to get engagement. You have to get these people excited about the things that we're telling them, not just a shill 100%, but it has to be bring them into the game without them actually opening up a MetaMask and playing the game. Like seeing wins and being like, man, that would be really cool to hit like a mythic pet hatching eggs and having ownership of it and being able to put it in a market.
Or winning because you used the right pet
money
and that gave you the bonus
whatever.
and then you won that game. Like if you could see that happen.
Which is absolutely true. But we will get there, Maddie. These guys are building, and they've been through a lot, like a ton, okay? And they're still building, and they've made big sacrifices. I met these guys in Miami, and not one of them is not sacrificed. In fact, they've put so much on the line and risked it all in many ways for this project and the dream that they have. So they are absolutely building, and they're not going to stop. They're relentless, and it is going to take a collaborative effort. And I'm going to put emphasis back on this again. It's going to take the partnerships. I love what I'm seeing from AVAX lately. It's been even more of a push to put these little Twitter videos together, these little shorts. I mean, these are what we need. These are the types of things that we need. And then us as a community need to go and spread it to the masses. Like it, retweet it, freaking make a video, talk about it, get in the live chats.
What do you think of that one, Kupo?
A lot of back and forth there. Loving it. We got a little Mosh. We got a little Maddie there. Everything, like I said, these guys are so on point with this stuff. So, wow. Thank you for going through all that footage to find these gems here. This is great.
It's so it's so fun to see Maddie's reactions and
I love you,
look
Maddie.
out for this. He's a very animated guy. I love him.
He gets very into his like conversations and very into his like opinion. I love it. Love you, Maddie.
Yes, absolutely. That was number 22. Got Mosh there. 21. Let's find out who's there. Why gold? I mean, it sounds very counterintuitive.
Yeah, so I'm bullish on a lot of things within the game. When it comes to gold, I'm a fundamental researcher. So any game that's ever been released that's done well, the gold ends up being an integral part of the ecosystem. And following economics and just following what's happening within this game, that's you can call it DeFi. Right, that is an asset that may be inflationary, but I'm able to accumulate it almost at zero cost. And as someone who started out this game with a lot of miners, that's just a forever DeFi chest of gold that accumulates almost at zero cost. And so any percentage rise it makes with more time becomes straight profit. And I play the numbers game. So in general with crypto, if you're able to accumulate 100,000 of anything, each 1% moves $1,000 made. And so gold is the asset that I can play that game with the easiest in the ecosystem, and it almost comes at zero cost. So that's just that singular strategy with gold.
Gold, I gave him a hard time, but hey, he might be onto something for sure. I love his sort of analogy, right? Or his the way he phrased it, which was, if you're gonna stack something for him, stacking this gold, it's where it's at, and even the smallest of price movements in the positive direction sort of mean significant money for him. What do you think of gold as the hot take there?
Absolutely. It's funny as you say that also because like gold was one of the first things that I was actually juggling around when we were still working with like Harmony One and stuff like that. I was actually converting like the gold every so often into actual like liquidity or like to like the USD dollar. So it did fall down quite a bit now that everything kind of like hitting their lows. But with Bring Your Own Potion on the horizon and crafting gonna pop, hopefully possibly come out very soon, there's going to be a utility to gold again. We're going to see more gold burn mechanics. We're going to see more mechanics that are going to be using gold for just generalizing activities within the game, whether something as much as like crafting or alchemy or whatever. I mean, there's going to be these utilities that we're not seeing right now that gold's going to be very important for. So yes, not financial advice, but I'm stacking that gold myself.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you're spot on all these things. Gold's gotta be one of them. I'm not Dax. Thank you very much for the 41 bloaters. Thank you, baby. That was number 21, I believe. We got number 20.
Question, and I'm gonna really play on the nuance of what am I going to tell myself starting the crypto journey today. And I think that the important thing here is we're still in the early ramp up stages of the total crypto journey. I think that there is it takes a long time for crypto to become mainstream, and there's still an opportunity for that. And so I think healthy diversification is something, whether it's within a single project holding different assets, whether it's in multiple projects holding a variety of assets. I think it's a lot like the stock market, where you want to have that diversification. You want to do some short-term plays, some long-term plays, and to stay patient, stay calm.
Stay patient, stay calm. I mean, those are easier words to say than do. I mean, what did you think of Raf's take there, Koopa?
Oh yeah, stay patient, stay calm. There's a lot of volatility in like the crypto market. You just can't FOMO. You just can't panic when it's something like moves a little bit in the wrong direction. You can't get too excited if something moves too good in the right direction. You definitely got to keep a steady head with this game. Take in the truth with every little grain that comes out there. Pick your own decisions wisely. Hear what the public has to say, but ultimately it's your choice in the end. So make sure you're doing your research first.
Yeah, I think I've said this before, but now is a good opportunity to flex some of these muscles, develop some of these skills. It's all psychological, I guess, at the end, but you got to start somewhere. I have tremendous convictions on crypto as a whole, but at the end of the day, it's you got to be able to know when to when to hold them and when to fold them, I suppose.
100%.
All right, that was number 20. Number 19. Are you taking the 1 Gen 0 or 1,000 floor heroes?
It's a really good question because it's a hard answer, right? You've heard the one side where it's like, well, you can't get it 1 Gen 0, you got to get 2. And you've also heard, if I'm gonna play the game and have fun, I want the floor heroes to actually do everything that's available in the game right now and be prepared for the future, right? So, like what Risen was saying is 100% spot on. You have to, like, what's your time scale look like? Am I in it to turn a profit in the short term, in the medium term, or am I in for the long haul, right? Am I getting out a year and a half from now, or am I getting out in 5 years, or am I going to try and get profit in 5 years? And what is it going to be in? Is it going to be in Power Token, or is it going to be in USD, or whatever your country of choice exchange? So I would think I would take the 1,000 floor heroes, especially in the short term. Long-term answer is 100% the 1 Gen 0, even without the pair. Because at some point, what Risen said, the Gen 0s are going to be limited. there's not going to be any more at some point, and Harambe, is going to have 2,000 of those Gen Zeros. So there's only going to be 500 floating around for the rest of us. But when we get the onboarding, right? Say we hit it big in South Korea, and we get like a really good like Asian market and a really, really, really healthy onboarding, and now all of a sudden, we didn't just go back up to what our original play base was. Now we've got 500,000 active users. Now we've got 1 million active users around the world, and there's only 2,500 Gen Zeros out there.
And they all pray at the altar of Wowie.
Right. I mean, fingers crossed. But I mean, so when there's scarcity like that, I mean, I think you're going to see the floor rise. Obviously, our tokens are going to rise. I think we're going to see the floor price rise because people are going to go, okay, yeah. I mean, even if our tokens back up to $20, the $20 will please come back. But if we're even up there and we're looking at floor hero prices at 40 again, and we're seeing, okay, this hero costs $1,000 at the floor, right? I think we're going to see a power token increase on top of that because the people who are in it are going to say, oh, I can make money in the short term by flipping this. It's going to increase the demand, and the supply is going to be short. We're going to see a lot of floor heroes when the Gen Zeros are in there, but if we onboard at a higher rate than what we can expand from, demand it's going to be a reverse short squeeze in the future, and we're just going to go parabolic if that's the case.
Wow.
Wowie. That's
Wowie.
Well, and now you're the proud owner of a pair of Gen Zeros. By the way, I can't believe we totally disregarded and I bypassed the fact that you're rocking a pretty awesome Koopa shirt.
Thank
I
you.
feel like you're just rotating through them, and I'm convinced your entire closet's nothing but Koopa attire. Anyhow, Gen Zeros. I mean, now, different times, I suppose. But you today, are you taking the Gen Zero or 1,000 floor heroes?
Well, as of right now, yes, I am taking that Gen Zero route because, as Wowie did state out before, that they are limited mint. So we're only going to get so many of these Gen Zero heroes before they're gone, And eventually, the people are not going to be wanting to just like rotate them through the tavern and hope to get a little bit more than the next person sold that character for, or get bored and quit the game. Eventually, that's going to dry up. So I feel right now that the Gen Zero market is especially very popular because of the fact that we already see that the Crystal Vale side is done. So now we're going back to Serendale again, and who's to say from that point what our next big step is. So yes, as of right now, I am taking the high road on the Gen Zeros. Sure, it's easy as anything at this current time to get 1,000 heroes if you're going all floor, but it's really a 50-50, honestly, when you think about that. There's no wrong way to actually go through DFK. You got yourself your Gen Zeros for those that are trying to do like the long term, but you got your mass armies that you want to do, which can also be for long term, but you're also trying to get as much as you can in within a crunch of time. So there's just really good like perspectives when you bring everything into view and seeing what actually is the better route. Is there really a better route? It's everybody plays the game their own unique way. I personally would prefer the Gen Zero route, but my opinion can vary to the next person.
Well, and the opinion can change on a month-to-month basis, right? I'm on the same train. I prefer the Gen Zeros. Jade Boys, thanks for the bloater donation. Mellow Green Giant, thank you very much for the 42 Jade. Very much appreciated, good sir. That was take number 19. Sorry. Let's see who's behind take number 18. The hotter the take, the more points. Give me something fresh. What's gonna pump next? Speculate with us.
Well, listen, you know the theme here. But it is not gold specifically. It is the yellow pet egg.
Okay.
And the simple calculation behind that is the breakout launch of the green pet eggs, their run up proceeding to that, and then the demand once they realize the utility behind the green pet eggs. And so it's simply a play on the repeats of what we've seen already with something of a questing feature that is a 4-hour requirement, opposed to the fishers and the foragers, which are by minutes. And so there's a less of a supply, bring in some demand to the miners, bring the glory back to the miners. And that's kind of like my lore for why I'm looking at specifically the gold eggs. But really, every single thing that is listed in the bazaar that is building, buy, and sell wall over the next 6 months is viable.
What did you think of that one, Kupo?
Brings up very good points there. I mean, we've already gotten the gray, the blue, which launched at the same time. Look how well green did when that came out, when we got some extra utility going on to our gardeners, but our poor, starving miners right now with new onboard players not even having that locked mine ability, heroes not getting as much of that experience. And of course, we have ourselves 2 missing crafting elements that we're still working with here. So yeah, I feel there's going to be a lot of potential for those yellow eggs also. I definitely feel there's going to be a big spike, just as we've seen when the green eggs came out, and there's going to be a little bit more use to our miners again. So, yeah, I feel that there's going to be a big change when the yellow eggs come out, 100%.
I love Christian Peter's take here in chat. Miners got to fight for their XP.
Right?
Come yellow eggs, things may change. I mean, if history repeats itself, yellow eggs may be pretty spicy. Indeed. That was take number 18. Let's see who's behind door number 17. How do you get people to start in DFK without making barrier to entry, a nightmare?
I think there's 2 things. I was going to say something very similar to what Maddie said, which is you've got to think about different demographics, right? There are people who will buy at every price point, right? That's the fundamental economics, right? As the price goes up, you get fewer buyers, but there are buyers out there, right? So it comes down to sort of how do you select, either tournament styles. So obviously if you're going up against, the top people who have level 20 dreads, you're not going to win with a level 5 monk. Let's just be honest here, level 5 common, right? So you have to have different formats where things are not allowed. Like, for example, only common, only cards, or only basic common, only cards are allowed up to a certain level. I think ADFK, I think, did it very well, where they had those tournaments where you had a max cap level. So your money could not just buy you the tournament, basically, right? That's a good way to do it. But I think the other part of the question is, how do you create a hook for people to actually want to play? How do you create a hook to justify the price point? And I think the hook right now is there. The gore items are worth at minimum $10 to $12 US, and you can win one of those every time you do a void hunt, right? Usually it takes 50 to 75 to get it, but there's the allure of that. The reason people got sick and tired of I haven't quested my heroes in forever. Why? Because I don't want to open up an egg and say, oh great, I won 5 cents. Or not even 5 cents, 2 cents. There's no thrill to that. Before, there was a thrill to opening up a $200 egg. So they found a way to make a hook. Questing, for me at least, is not a hook. I use an automation service, as you guys know, and most of you use it as well, to do some of that on your other heroes. The more hooks you have, the more reasons people come back. That's how YouTube works too, right? The way these things get pushed is YouTube looks at who is clicking on these thumbnails, who is staying on longer duration, right? If people aren't doing that, they're going to get off the platform, get off DeFi Kingdoms, go somewhere else. So our question should not just be entry point, but how do we create a compelling reason for someone to come to DFK and come back repeatedly?
That's a pretty hot take, Kupo.
I'm surprised that's not number 1, honestly. Wow. I can only imagine what we still have in store here. The brown
pretty spicy.
Yeah, the brown gent brings certainly a lot to the table when he brings up points and stuff like that. That man does his research. He keeps us in check. He tells us the know-how. He is a very wise individual. Just listening to what he has to say is just gold in itself. So yeah, there needs to be these hooks to get people in here. We can't just keep running the same old I mean, a movie theater is not going to just keep playing the same old flick like every week for years to come. You know, we got to move things around. You got to have that niche, that click, something to get people wanting to come in. And yeah, like questing has gone very stale. When it first came out, it was the thing. Get yourself like these Chivas rooms that were like what, like $20 at one point. Even the like the Gaia's Tears were like expensive as all heck when it was just a wishing well quest. But like these things have depreciated, and now we got ourselves the Void Hunt, which is great. So we actually have some like gameplay mechanics, but I know the public craves more. It's like, what's that next best thing? We got Vizzies are great, but I know that's not going to appease to everybody. What do we have, and what's in store for 2024? I'm actually very excited to see what we have down the road here.
And I'm excited too. I mean, it's a fantastic take, right? Hook, boars, is that a hook, a big enough hook for you? I don't know. The fact that, hey, there's a variety of different price points for people, right? Barrier to entry is sort of on the eye of the beholder. You could very well have some come in, and if they wanted to, they could very well sweep that Gen 0 floor. It could always happen. Hey, I think it's happened before. Maybe not entirely. I guess his name's Harambe. Who knows? Anyhow, that was take number 17. Number 16. Let's hear that one.
I hate labels. Labels are used to divide us. They are a tool of governors to control the masses. So if we allow ourselves to fall into that, then we're going to end up losing exactly what you alluded to, Sarm, Filthy McNasty. We're at the third stage, right? First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. But not if you allow them to divide you. We're all playing with crypto, peeps. We should all be helping each other. I mean, it baffles me. You look at the Bitcoin people and they're like, oh, Bitcoin is all that matters. Everything else sucks. We don't need anything else. And then you put ordinals on there and like, oh, Bitcoin's not for that. We don't want that on Bitcoin. Go somewhere else. Go on Ethereum. That's what Ethereum is for. But I thought we didn't need Ethereum. Like, no. Maxiism destroys everything. And honestly, they have us focused on the banks right now being the devil. Banks aren't the devil, y'all. The banks are the decentralization of the problem. The central bank and the lack of regulation that has allowed these banks just to do what greedy human beings will do when they have no supervision. They went rampant. They printed money into anything because the Fed told them, you don't even need 10% anymore. You can hold $0 and loan out as much as you want and charge whatever you want for it. And they did. Is that the bank's problem? Like, that's the Federal Reserve that did that. That's not the banks. And the banks are decentralization of control. If they want us to all hate the banks, right? That's the ultimate tribalism. We're sitting here focused on, I'm a maxi for Bitcoin or Ethereum, but we're all focused on each other, and then we're all turning on the banks. But the banks are the decentralization we actually need. We just need them to be controlled and regulated the way they're supposed to, so they can't make these irresponsible bets. If we go to a fractional reserve system of 90% instead of 10% and keep the banks in place, the banks can still make money responsible, and so can everyone else. And you don't have to print stuff into infinity. That's my stake. I'm sorry.
What do you think of that take, Koopa?
Oh, you got yourself the government conspiracy things going on there. I tell you, I'm not going to put my foil hat on tonight because we've got still a lot of more hot takes to go through.
Yeah,
I can put so much onto this table, but you know what? It is not a safe place to start ranting on what the government's doing to us. So I'm going to put a pin on that. But yeah, there was some pretty good points that we had going on there. Like, everybody's opinion just brings something to the table. So thank you for letting us hear what we have to hear with that one.
It was very impassioned for sure. Wowie, thank you very much for the shout out. It was a really fun show to put together. It really was. And let this be a challenge to all you would-be contenders. Maybe you too can make said list. Wait and see. Let's find out. That was hot take number 16, I believe. Let's see. We're down to the top 15 of the year 2023. Let's see.
I mean, you and me both, buddy. I don't think anyone's out there that's not feeling the pressure of the bear market. But we have to understand that each step that we take as a community here with DFK in particular, each step we take is worth 1,000 steps as soon as the bull market begins again. What we have with Combat that just got released is just a tiny, tiny, tiny piece of what's to come. We were talking about crafting coming up and how that's actually going to be the real economy. Heroes are going to be secondary. We were talking about how land is going to play into things, how we may even have travel as NFTs somehow. But to the larger macro section, I mean, the Fed's going to do what the Fed's going to do. Its job to stabilize the economy and endure through the larger worldwide BS that's going on right now. And the only thing I could really say is board money spends. Build your boat while you have time, because all ships rise when the tide comes in.
That's a pretty hot take.
Oh my God, it was like looking into a mirror. It's like, that was just exactly what I was talking about. That is incredible. Like, wow. Wow. Again, I'm curious to see what we got for number one. You just keep like bringing out all these incredible people, all their incredible points. I am just really digging what you selected tonight. So
Hey,
yeah, I am all for everything that was just said with that hot take.
I just put the takes together. It's you who helped provide them. Wowie, yeah, but that was a pretty hot take for Wowie. Hey, board money spends. I mean, that might just be a quotable quote. SI.
Yeah, that was wowee.
That's right. That's right. Thank you very much, Fisher Boy, for the 10 bloaters. Very much appreciated. Wowie, does Wowie make an appearance in the top 14? I quite don't remember, but maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. We'll find out.
Let's hope
together. Let's find out together. That was number 15. Let's hear number 14. What's more important here, the money or the gameplay?
I disagree with Raph so strongly on this.
Oh.
The gameplay and the game is 100% the most important thing in my mind right now. Now, if they can create a game that is super fun, that people are interested in and they want to play, that happens to have this DeFi added aspect to it. That is the goal. That is what we want, is this like fun game that's like going to take over and is going to be, you know, bigger than WoW, bigger than all these other Fortnite, bigger than these huge games. This game that everybody wants to play and it happens to have NFTs as part of it. That is the ideal. That is what we want. We want that gameplay. I mean, yes, obviously we want this, you know, money is part of it. I understand that. And I understand everybody wants to make money off it. Totally. I get it. But this idea of play to earn needs to be part of it. I don't like that as part of the sentence. The sentence is, let's make a good game and then let's maybe make money off of it afterwards. I know people are going to be upset at that, but like, that's what I want.
Are you upset at that, Koopa?
No. Maddie brings a lot of good points to the table also. How can you be mad with a man that has that much energy? Like,
right?
Wow. Right? Incredible. Like, again, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own take. So I am just happy to hear what everybody has to share, because everybody brings something great to the table. And I appreciate everybody for just taking the time to go on your show to do just that.
And for the record, Sticks in turn, Matty Pest knows how to play devil's advocate. Are they right takes? I don't know, but they're definitely hot takes. Thank you very much, Koopo, for the bloaters. You didn't have to. The whole community's on fire tonight. And really, I keep saying it, and I've said it before, time and time again, and I'll say it again. It's because of you. It's because of you all that we're here today and putting together such an awesome, fun show for you all. So that was number 14. We're getting to top 13. This one's short but sweet. Who's got it? Let's find out.
You know, if you're Be Easy and you're burning 80 plus Dragoons and Sages, 15 Dread Knights, like, yeah, that dude has definitely come out with a monster of a hero out of that, but he freaking paid for it. Like both literally and figuratively, he paid for it. Like, he earned that hero. And I feel like that's kind of the basis of Dark Summoning, is if you want it to be OP, there's a cost.
Oh, Be Easy earned it, right?
Yeah.
And it's the whole Mythic Squad. You know, I think BEZ is one of many representatives of the squad. But yes, you're burning some pretty. You're creating some awesome heroes, but you're paying for it. Kupo, how much dark summoning are you doing these days?
Not so much right now. I'm actually more so just kind of like taking the back burner and more so dealing with the Gen Zeros because that was quite a big hole in my pocket as it was. So I was doing a lot more dark summoning during like the Halloween event. I wanted to get those limited edition skins, so I say that was probably the last time I was like going like really hardcore. Don't get me wrong, I'm dabbling a little bit here and there, and I'm just like, oh hey, I'm gonna put A and B together and see if I get C out of that. Nope, got another common monk. Oh well. But I basically not so much these days. But I started off strong, kind of brought it back a little bit, and I'm probably going to go hard again pretty soon. Honestly, once I'm in the right place.
Hey, that window may be closing on all of us.
That's what I'm worried about. So I want to try to get in before that window closes. Like we were saying, like we might get that bull run. I mean, who knows when it might hit us? It's 2024, new opportunities with this new year, and we're not always going to have our beautiful jewel 27 cents. So we got to get it in while we can.
Absolutely, and that was Bolon's first appearance. As a matter of fact, it was Bolon's first appearance. Due in part because Maddie said, "Hey, you know what? It might be a good idea to have Bolon come on, have him be a guest judge." Maddie's also giving me a good idea, and we might play with it. We'll see. We'll see who's all into it and who maybe wants to partake. But he has a really awesome idea of inviting a panel of guests, having
Ooh.
elimination rounds after each question. Maybe we bring one of those guests down until we have two left, and then, of course, the one. It's an original format. I've never seen that format ever before. Certainly not on a four-letter sports channel. But it's a very cool format. Not that I didn't steal this format from said channel. Anyhow, top 13. We're at number 12. Let's hear number 12. Who's got it? Let me find it. Here we go. Let's hear it.
Brady,
time.
Brady, DFK's problem, is it an image problem or is it a marketing problem?
Okay, so you said at the beginning of this question, you said image isn't marketing. 100% disagree. Those two things, one and the same. Image problem is marketing problem. So we need to, first of all, get it out of our mind that marketing means we spend dollars on advertising a game. Okay, that's not going to be super effective. It's not necessarily wrong. It could be good at times. But we definitely still have a massive image problem from the past FUD. That still, there's 100,000 people that left the ecosystem that still think because of mainstream crypto, large YouTubers that said they don't think DeFi Kingdoms is going to survive. They think, Frisky Fox is leaving the project. All the stuff that was said has to be rectified. It has to be set right. And so right here, image, I'm approaching George. I am George all the time. I'm super chatting, on his videos about DFK. Okay. And then I finally make contact with him and we send each other back and forth 8 emails. I received 8 emails from George and right back at him explaining what actually happened in the past, explaining what actually is going on with DFK. He's like, whoa, intrigued.
It was a
now there's a chance this TV show, which George is a judge on, where millions of people potentially, pretty much everybody in crypto is going to see it. Okay, but all it takes is one guy, like a George, any big YouTuber that is like rubber stamp of approval, DeFi Kingdoms, boom, 10,000 people will come in just from one guy.
I mean, what a Nostradamus moment. I think in the show. I mean, it was very foretelling of what was to come. George, Grady not only spoke to George, he brought George. Koopa, what do you think?
Rubber stamp of approval. That one, like, just really, that was great. I mean, this man with his like comments and phrases, like he just brings the energy, and that's what we need. Like he has so much passion for this project. Like, he brings it to the table. He brings the people. He brought George, like you said. He's got a lot of us hooked just with the content he comes out. His energy is just fantastic. So I love what Grady has to bring. And yeah, I'm on board with you also with this. I mean, everything that Grady says, it's very true. It's an image thing that just needs to be rectified. We had that whole problem. You and I were both around for that, so we got to see it firsthand exactly what's going on. It's a marketing thing. It's an image thing. I know that we're in a bear. I know that we our treasures coffers were a little bit hurt during like the past events that we experienced, and that things haven't been always like sunny and bright out there. But we have a future we have to maintain. So it is a lot of imaging. It's a lot of marketing. It's a lot of word of mouth. I mean, we're us as influencers are trying to do our best to try to keep everybody entertained as well, but also trying to bring to the table like what we can show with this project and show how we're going to survive in this bear and how we're going to strive in the bull. So absolutely, Grady brings many great points to the table.
I must say, I when I heard Grady and he would share, it's like, hey, I'm talking to George, this, and it's like, oh, well, that sounds fun. Best of luck with that one. Lo and behold, he made it happen. He's one of these guys who's like he gets something in his head and something in his brain. He's like he's gonna visualize it and sort of act on it and make it happen. And boy, did he make it happen, boy. If it wasn't in part for his sort of level of commitment and engagement and communication with the likes of George and others, things might be different today. Who knows? Anyhow, that was take number 12. We've got a tie for number 11. What ended up happening is I realized I had extra videos I forgot to put into the final deck. But anyhow, we've got a tie for number 11. Let's see who's here.
I mean, are you surprised with these DFK assets still stuck on Harmony? What's your take on that?
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, you watch these cycles, bull to bear. A lot of people join projects in bull markets, and then when everything comes crashing down, some of them never come back. Some of them will come back with the next bull. And it also just takes something piquing their interest. Like they see something about DeFi Kingdoms and new content coming out and stuff being developed. Maybe they're like, oh yeah, I used to play that game when it was nothing. Let me go check it out. And some of them might come back. As far as the assets that are lost, it's deflationary for the ecosystem. I don't really care one way or the other. Sucks for them. I do hope some come back, and I think when the bull comes, you'll see quite a few people coming back in the community that's still been here, helping them with getting back into the game and maybe getting some of their assets. So we'll see.
What do you think of that, Kupo?
Just like these guys said in these other hot takes, old members, new members, loyalty. We got to bring back the old. We got to bring in the new. So yeah, every little bit just comes together as a community concept. So we got to get these hooks in there so we can get ourselves our new players. We got to get these promises fulfilled so we get back the old players. We got to get everything on board so we can keep people happy and striving and wanting to continue with this project. So absolutely, everything that people have been putting together, it all comes down to these hot takes, and it all makes a lot of sense. It's just one big thing, as we are with the community. We're one big community, and we're all looking out for one another.
Oh, absolutely. That was number 11. We've got a tie. Who came first? Not quite sure, but I'm sure there's gonna be a fight after this one.
What's up, average users? You're your own worst enemy.
People are emotional beings. In crypto, I think you should use your brain and not rely on your heart. You need to do your own research. You need to invest time to learn. The more time you spend seeking that information, the better your security will get.
I love it. Hey, great response.
Bonus points for cutting it early. Right?
I know. Hey.
Wow. Bonus points for cutting it early. It was short, sweet, to the point. We're emotional beings. We were talking about this, trying to leave emotion to the side. It was a short, sweet, simple take, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like you got to use your brain. I mean, I'm going to be guilty. I'll be honest with you. Like, there are a couple of like my assets which I'm probably not going to sell off. I mean, we've been told don't get too attached to your heroes and stuff like that. But you know what? Like any of the contest heroes I ever got, and of course the very first hero I ever got, I think they're just going to stick with me. But everybody else, they're kind of like free to go. So I'm a half and half with that. You got to stick with your brain because you got to make the right moves. You can't just get emotionally attached to everything, especially if like people are giving you like advice and it ends up being wrong. You just can't hold on to your assets and think that these things are actually going to like have a heartbeat and actually like respond to as if it's like your kid. This is just money in the end here. So these are digital assets. You got to take it into like heart to know that you got to use your brain. So in short, absolutely, you got to be smart with your investments and realize that what you got here is just digital money. It's just being waited to be cashed in.
We've seen some pretty awesome takes. We've heard some pretty awesome takes. We're getting to our top 10, but thus far, Kupo, anything that's jumped at you, something that resonates with you, something you think, hey, you know what, that was a top 10 take. Sarge screwed that one up. What are your thoughts?
That was great. Like I said, everybody's been like so good so far. I mean, if I could, I would give like 51s to everybody because these guys are all pumping out gold here. So every time you just count out another number, it's like, what is number one? If this is what everybody else has been putting into like putting on the table right now, this is great. So no, everybody's been contributing quite a bit, from Mosh to Maddie to Grady to Brown Gent to Crypto Tro to Shane. Everybody that has been putting in stuff so far has been gold, whether it's an opinion, whether it's a fact, whether it's just a wake-up call to say this is what's got to go on, stay on the right track, don't don't get off track and stuff like that. This is all fantastic information here. So these are wonderful hot takes, and to just pick one person again is not fair. So I'm actually very curious to see what you got lined up for us for the next couple hot takes here.
And I will reiterate once again, it was very tough to pull these 45 together, let alone these top
I'm glad
10.
I didn't have your job. I'm just glad I'm the commentator because this is a very hard hot take panel you got going on here.
Absolutely. With that said, if you weren't featured, it wasn't because I didn't think your takes were hot, is that these were just extra spicy.
Oh, yes. A little fireball here.
All right. So that was number tie for 11. Number 10. Who's got number 10? Let's find out.
Want that to remember, when they're thinking about that next chain. And so there's additional commitments outside of that chain, and I know that it's a slim team right now. You guys aren't bursting at the seams with capacity right now, and there's commitments or expectations from the community of things that we haven't seen yet. A lot of people sent a bunch of heroes for a lot of money for Perilous Journey many moons ago, and we haven't seen a lick of shit in terms of benefit from that. I haven't seen a land tournament. I don't know if the land tournaments, I can guarantee you right now, Hubert's probably not working on a land tournament right now.
Yeah,
probably.
Yes! Oh my god, Alpha! Oh, you guys heard that land tournament?
How many points did that Alpha drop? I'm just joking.
If Grady got, man, I got.
But there's original bonus
Grady
points.
fall out?
Go check out Grady.
Mike dropped and Grady fell out of his chair. Win.
I'm here.
So I mean, there's other commitments, like there's and they're not the most important thing in the world, but they're still out there. How many people have thousands of pages right now and just wanted to know what page 10 is, just for the sake of knowing how the story is, I've brought it before. I've brought it up before. So my biggest thing to remember is the original commitments of the people who have been here for so long. I mean, that was supposed to be a short-term thing. When you tell me something short-term and it's been 10 months, that's not a season to me. Like a season is like 3 months, 4 months. Granted, a lot of stuff happened between now and then, and you're spending your assets in a way that is probably going to be better in the long term. You're making conscientious decisions, and with Dreamer at the helm, and with Fox obviously, they're garnering the risk that's there, and they're trying to identify what's going to bring the most positive return for the long term outcome. Obviously, if we did switch to another.
I love it. It was a pretty epic page 10 rant. I love his I haven't seen look at shit comment. That had me rolling. Koopa, was that a top 10er for you? What do you think?
Oh yeah, but I also think that the last, like, I don't know, 18 that you showed were also part of the top 10. So everybody is just like releasing gold here. Starbuck for the win, bringing up some positive information, bringing a little salt. I mean, everything is just putting it all together, putting everything into perspective for us, keeping us on the right path. But it's true. You got to just basically use your brain when you're trying to figure out which investments you want to do, what you can control, what you can handle, and not get overwhelmed with whatever commitment you put yourself into. So stay the course, stay on the right track, and work with what you got.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was number 10. By the way, for the record, I've given him page 10, or at least the lore. If you've not seen, I think it was one of his most recent streams. He reiterated, he reread it on stream. So if you're interested, if you're curious, if you're wanting to know the lore behind page 10, feel free to catch it on I think it was a stream with him and Ogre. So that was number 10. Number 9, let's hear it.
You're starting your crypto journey again. What piece of advice do you give yourself today?
I think one thing that really stuck out to me that I learned over the past 18 months especially, there was a tweet and the guy said, if you don't understand where the yield comes from, you are the yield. And that really stuck out to me. And so it's all about, you gotta understand tokenomics. You gotta understand if it's sustainable tokenomics, if it's not. And if the APR seems too good to be true, it works for a little bit, but eventually someone's going to be bag holding for other people, and you don't want to be other people's exit liquidity.
Understand where the yield comes from. Kupo, is that a top 10?
Wow, flash from the past there. How long has it been since I've heard Sandwich's voice? It's been quite some time.
It's been a while, yeah. No, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has. Definitely worth a top 10 shout out. I do agree. Just incredible that I didn't even think that I would actually be seeing Sandwich on this whole hot take, let alone the top 10.
Yeah, no, it may have been someone we all forgot was a guest on the show, because it has been some time. Let me, we're on topic. We're talking about Blast from the Past. Let me give you an honorable mention. I think you've queued it up perfectly, where he just needs to come on so that we hear him all.
DFK, baby, DFK. Reckless spending right here. I don't know what you're thinking. This is DFK. You need to sell your house. You need to sell your wife. You need to sell your kids. This is it. This is DFK. There is no reckless spending at all right here, baby.
There we go.
That was Rock 808's impersonation of none other than Mr. Grady himself. That was actually the first hot take episode we did. It was great. For you all who may be interested, he is streaming yet again. He's not doing DFK content just as of yet, but if you care to sort of catch what he's doing these days, he's doing some streams for you all to sort of catch. Do you remember that? Do you remember Rock 808, Koopa? Was that someone you were watching?
Yes. So my God, I used to watch all this content, and Mr. Wow, I did not forget your 4-hour stream either that you did at one time. But yeah, I used to watch all these streams all the time. So just to listen to some of these and just wow, this has been this is old stuff here, but it is such good stuff too. It's it's fresh. It's still out there. It's still original. So I'm actually loving everything that you've been piecing together tonight. This is a big trip down memory lane for me, for a guy who's probably spent a little too much time watching these videos out there, because I might not catch you guys in the live stream, but there's a good chance I probably at least watched your videos, maybe at 2 times, maybe at 10 times, whatever speed that I have to do it at in order to catch everybody. But yeah, these are some really awesome hot takes you got going on here, my friend.
Absolutely. Well, let's get to number 8. Let's see who's behind door number 8.
About this whole rerun, how do you see the game changing up for you?
Well, I had my hand up, my fist pumped. It was in response to what Starbuck was saying, man.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to talk about diversity and safety, right? That's what you do after you've made a bunch of money. You protect it by diversifying it. But in order to make that money, you make degen plays. You have to go find something that you believe in, that you understand enough about, that you can solidly say, I am confident that this is probably a good bet. Maybe not, but probably. And then you go. I'm not saying everybody should be a degenerate. I am not telling you guys all to go to the casino and bet everything on red because you're feeling red that day. No, right? But there is something to be said about that. Like, big risks make big plays. And in reality, aside from something the team could not control, the price of the token, the jewel token, has anybody made a bet on DeFi Kingdoms that didn't end up playing out? I mean, Gen 0 heroes are killing it. Gen 1 heroes are killing it. Pets are killing it. The maths kind of suck right now, but they're in the process of fixing that, right? So a bet in DFK is a pretty solid bet, I guess is where I'm getting at, in my personal view. That's all it is, but it is what it is.
Number 8, Kupo. Safe money don't make money. What do you think of that?
Absolutely. Ogre out there who's got a brain and a heart as big as his beard. Like, that man is just always spouting out awesome information. Like, he was like the, what I thought like whales, I used to think ogre. I mean, ogre in itself is like a mythological creature that's like big and enormous, you know? So when you think of like ogre, you think of whale. It's like, you look at that man, it's like, that man is truly owning his name right there. So I always thought of him as an amazing pillar to this community for what he contributes, for the knowledge that he has, for what he's done for us, and just everything that man brings to the table. Also, I am on board with what Ogre says. So absolutely, another phenomenal hot take, and it just gets spicier every time we just get counting down to number 1.
Yes, number 7. Who's behind door 7? Let's find out.
Everything is predicated on PvP and PvE. Like, if the game is not fun, like, that's my biggest thing. I've said it so many times. If the game is smarter than it is fun, then we have a problem. If the game is fun and it just naturally makes people want to play like any other game, you're not going to play Assassin's Creed if it's boring. You're not going to play God of War if it's just walking. If it's fun and it's engaging, and, you know, there's people that are excited about it. I mean, that's the same reason that I was able to recruit someone who was very sketch on crypto in general, was simply because I showed it to him. I showed him the pets. I showed him, you know, the 3D images. This is before gameplay. And this is someone who understands, like, he played WoW, and he played Magic the Gathering, and what's that other one? League of Legends. So when I kind of showed it to him and I framed it up,
That other one.
Yeah. So when I framed it up to him, I get 4 seconds back. Anyways, I framed it up to him and I explained to him, you know, I showed it to him. He got into it. He's into it now. He's playing it now. But I think it's all predicated on fun, because fun is what the community is here for. Without the community, there's no game.
What'd you think of that, Kupo?
Oh man, bringing up video game lore and stuff like that, but he's so true. God of War, Assassin's Creed. I mean, you gotta have these games out there. You can't just have yourself like a name out there and
That
bring a
other
flop,
one.
right? Exactly, right. I'm a big Nintendo guy myself, so when I like see like the next of like my Nintendo family come up, and like I just have like high expectations for a lot of it, especially with the main Mario family. If it's a Pokemon game or something like that, and believe it or not, I actually like this one particular RPG style that nobody probably even realizes it. But absolutely. So video game logic and mixed in with some intelligence right there. Nice little spice of life you got going on there. So well done. Starbuck with another in the top 10. That's great. That's 2 shout outs for that man.
2 shout outs.
Top 10. So I'm curious to see who's going on. If anything, he's on the board with getting 2 strikes on there, which is great. So I don't know. Let's see what's in store for the rest of these guys.
I love that. Thanks for keeping track. Let's see who gets more in the top 10. Yeah, he had me when he said, hey, you know what? You can't be smarter than you are funner. You know, I think DFK is smart, but it's also funner. I mean, it's my thoughts, my take, my opinion there. But anyhow, that was number 7. Let's find out what take number 6 is.
I want everyone to know. I love everybody on this panel. I love all you guys. I think we're all amazing. I love everybody on the team. Ogre, I got to push back. Okay, I think putting that responsibility on community members is not how a team is going to be successful. You are not going to be successful as a project if it is dependent on YouTubers promoting it. It needs to be a good product. It needs to be awesome. It needs to be something that people are attracted to. Now, getting more eyes out there, getting the word out is great. And I love that. But saying it's on the community members, it's on the YouTubers to get the word out is not the best way to make the product to get the word out there. It needs to be...
I think you misunderstood my point.
Well, what do you mean? When you said it's on us, what do you mean?
Right, the team has a responsibility to market, of course. But are we being constructive in saying what do we feel the team needs to do when we could have a much more productive conversation saying how are we going to help the team?
I think we are. We're doing all our best. Sergeant is producing these awesome fucking videos where we get to chat with each other. You know, we're all doing fun videos speculating on what PvP is going to be. Grady is overanalyzing every fucking liquidity pool.
Speaking of Grady.
And it's amazing. I think the community is at max capacity right now. I think in terms of marketing, the team needs to step up. And I love the team. I love everybody who's associated with it. I think they are amazing. But to put it on the YouTubers, to put it on the community, I think that's the wrong move.
What do you think of that, Kupo?
Ooh, that's a lot of passion right there. And I was just bringing that up also, saying how like we influencers are bringing a lot to the market, just not only for our existing community, but try to get the influence out to other non-DFKers as well. But you know what it is? That's a tough take right there. I mean, you actually stumped me. You got to make me think here. It's like we're doing this kind of like as like a little fun thing ourselves, you know. It's like we don't have to do this. I mean, we can be out there playing our Super Marios or our Assassin's Creed, like these other great games that we already been talking about promoting and stuff. But we're out here making this content not only to bring out the good word of DFK, but also just because it's fun and we just like sharing it with all these incredible people that are in the chat right now. So I don't know, Maddie, you got a lot of passion and I love that energy, but it's like you're giving me some mixed wavelengths there. Also at the same time, I don't agree entirely. I don't disagree entirely. Like DFK should be making more than just that one billboard in Florida or whatever they had at that one time and just not stopping there or throwing a couple bloaters out there to like your crowds whenever we get to these big cons and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, there could be a little bit more, but do you really want DFK to be just a pop-up ad that you just have to click off and be like, oh God, there's that Clash of Clans game again. Delete, you know? So, I mean, in one aspect, you got yourself, sure. I mean, there could be a little bit more marketing, but it's also a budgeting thing. It's the time-based thing. So we as influencers, we're doing our part just to get the word out there, to show that we're still kicking, we're still alive, we're still trying to make something out of this project. We're working together with people, old, new alike. But at the same time, yeah, when the time is right, they can probably put out a little bit more marketing so we can get people into this project.
I love it. Kupo is a shield confirmed, Maddie. He is a squire. It's a very interesting debate question. Maybe it's a question we debate at the next Hot Takes episode. I see what you're saying. I don't entirely disagree, but I will say partially what got Maddie in the top 10 is the I'm not gonna lie, the shouting out Sergeant streams.
Absolutely.
Did that influence me? I don't know. I'm not gonna say it didn't, but it may have. So that was number 6. We're getting to our top 5. Kupo, are you excited? Are you?
I'm on the edge of my seat here. That's why I'm so close to the camera right now. I'm like, what do you got going on here? What are you cooking up? I mean, we've already seen so many like great reappearances on some of our amazing community members. Maddie's had 3 hot takes maybe already? Like, wow. Like, what do we got cooking for the next 6? Let's see what we got here, Sarge.
Let's hear it. Number 5.
I mean, do you see a time and space where we all commingle together, and what does that look like to you?
Yeah, I do. I think that revenue drives actions. And I mean, look at the country 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Pot wasn't legal anywhere. I know this is kind of off the topic, but as soon as pot started lining the pockets of other individuals or individuals, within the states and the government, it started to get widely more and more accepted. As they start to explore crypto as a solution, they start to see revenue drive and skyrocket, which I think we're all here because we think that's going to happen. We know the trends are going. We know we've seen stat charts, and we know, the trend doesn't always go down. And I think that's what makes them so afraid. So at a certain point, it's either they adopt and they accept, which I'll be honest, I don't know what I can say, but I do know that there are crypto projects that are being engaged in. I learned about the DeFi space through the bank. I learned about how it could be the future and how blockchain technology wasn't evil. A lot of people thought blockchain was evil, and it absolutely is just a database, And as they started to understand how that database could benefit them, they thought, oh, okay, well, we can create a database that fits our needs. As I saw that sort of adoption within the banking space, I could see in the future that my bank, for example, is a crypto custody holder for Bitcoin. That 5 years ago, I would never happen. So to think that we don't have a space in the future where there could be some, merging of interest and we see some widespread adoption. I think it's very possible, and I wouldn't be surprised within the next 2 to 3 years if it isn't common practice that your grandma's not buying her first Bitcoin from her bank.
Grandma's gonna buy Bitcoin from the bank. What do you think of that, Kupo?
Well, I got to give a shout out to Grady, who I just see entered into the chat room. So I got to take a step back there. But I don't know about Grandma, but we got ourselves another great outtake from our Mythic squad here, which, by the way, just wow. So another Starbucks like appearance here. So everybody in general, we got so many great guilds. So I want to just take a step back with that. From we got Mythic squad, we got Unity Guild, we got the Jewelers, we got Path to Gaia, we got the Goose Guild, we got so many other incredible people that are just all part of an amazing community. But yeah, all these amazing hot takes you're putting out there with all these great different people. Grandma, I don't know so much about Grandma, but we got a lot of young blood in here that definitely is going to be looking forward to a bright future if we continue down this path.
Maddie, I agree with you. Grandma buying Bitcoin from the bank is a hot take. It may not be a right take, but it's a hot take for sure. That was take number 5. If ever Starbuck and Mythic Squad thought I was rugging them in points, let it be known that I've commemorated them in my 2023 hot take review. I don't know if they come up again. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know, but that was number 5. Number 4. Let's go ahead and find hot take number 4. Bear with me. Let's see. Here we go. Number 4.
Here's the thing, and this is something I found myself saying. They release the Archer, and I'm like, oh damn, Archer's gonna be super good. They released the Knight, and I'm like, oh shit, man, Knight's gonna be super good. And then they released the Priest, and I'm like, oh my god, Priest is gonna be super good. And the point is, as they release these individually, they're all going to be good. The skill trees are going to be exciting, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting to look at them. Okay, they're all gonna be that way across the board. That means is that that can't be the thing, class is not going to be the thing that makes any one of these heroes exciting, because all the classes are going to have interesting traits, across the board. So you need to find heroes, and this has been said by other people in the panel, that have other reasons why they're unique. I think it comes down to just a basic thing that which vast majority of games have. This is stats are king. If your hero has better stats than your opponent's hero, you're going to win. I mean, maybe there's a slight variation on if you pick the right moves and if you have better strategy, but for the most part, if you have better stats, you're going to win. So stats are king. Stats. That's my answer. Better stats.
Stats are king, Kupo. What do you think of that?
Well, stats are king definitely in certain aspects, but we got things that we don't even know, before we actually had our void hunts, there was people counting dexterity, and things like that. What's going to happen when crafting comes out? So yeah, stats do make up an important role, but it's a lot of strategy also. You don't need to have the best stats to get the best wins. So yes, stats are very important, and they're going to make a big difference and tip the scale if you know how to use them. But it's a lot of strategy, a lot of planning, a lot of adapting. So there's a lot of potential out there for what you got. Even as the community said, or I'm not so, it's what the DFK has said, like the Dreamer and Fox and stuff, they said every hero has potential, from your pirate gardeners to like your dread knights, like with the big like stone attached to them. So everybody has a potential. Every hero has a chance out there, and it's just a matter of how you actually like shape them and how they evolve and what you're using them for. So yeah, in the end, like I said, stats do matter, but it's a lot of strategy as well.
Brobia, absolutely. I am solo Koopa. So for the fact, for people who have met me, Sticks Intern, Grady, KP, I am a very short person, mind you. I'm still working on such
Should I
setup.
adjust my camera
I will,
also?
there you go. There you go. We will fix things up. Don't you worry. I love Matty Pascupo. Are we fighting Stet our king? And I think what's more interesting is that take was maybe 10, 11 months
I
ago.
didn't disagree with you, Maddie. I was on point with you, but it's not just a one-way street. Stats are good, but there's strategy also. There's red and black checkers. Otherwise, it's not a board game. You gotta work with what you got. So yes, stats are very important, but you got to know what you're dealing with also.
I think that was take number 4. Is that right, Koopa? Was that
I
take number
believe you're right. I think we're down to just 3 more.
3 more. Okay, interesting. Well, before we hit that, I do want to give a shout out to Two Noobs. He is running. Let me see if I can pull this up. Give me. I'll pull it up after the next take before I deviate too much. Let's hit number 3. Let's see who's got number 3. And let's see if we agree or disagree. Let's find out.
Same question. Reckless speculation, just reckless?
Well, it can't be fully reckless speculation, but if you're waiting for the perfect information, you'll be sitting back and waiting on the couch the whole time. And so fortune favors the bold. You absolutely have to use the analysis that you have. You have to do your own research, and you have to find the opportunities to win. And if you want to be in front of the meta, if you want to be playing the next counter meta, then you have to be doing your research, and you have to be making your own speculative bets. Now, don't be reckless about it. I think the Brown Gent's spot on, that it depends on the amount of information you have or how much you're putting your head in the sand. And as long as you're not doing that, you're opening your eyes to information, you're staying plugged in, it's not going to be reckless, and you've got to speculate. You've got to move forward if you want to stay ahead of the meta.
You gotta move forward if you want to stay ahead of the meta. What do you think of that, Kupo?
Yes, wise words from a wise man. It's no wonder why he has such promising potential within the DFK community. Also, woof. Oh man, I'm just so revving up to see what number 1 is going to be after that one. Again,
Ooh.
Another amazing hot take, another great piece of wisdom from the giant scribe of DFK and what to expect in the cryptoverse. We're all part of this big universe in this very volatile, very dangerous crypto realm, but we made ourselves this little safe haven right inside of DFK. We're all here together. We're here as a community. We're here to work with each other. Even when we're beating the snot out of each other in PvP, we're going to be working with each other to succeed as a whole. And that's what it is. So absolutely. I am looking forward to what we got going on. Brilliant words. Love it. Can't wait to see what we got going on with our last hot takes.
Raph is fire. Before we move on to these last few hot takes, I did want to for a minute just showcase a tweet Two Noobs has put out. Let me see if I can get that going here. Let's see. Here we go. He is doing I believe a giveaway. After the 400 donation, there is a giveaway. Looks like there is a bloater pack that consists of 1,000 bloaters, 200 Gaia's tears, and 1 blue egg. As of the time of the tweet, which was a few hours ago, we were at 336 donations. I'm not saying donate to me, but I think just in general, keep in mind, you're making use of Two Noobs donation tool. There is a prize associated for number 400. So keep that in mind. With that said, we're at 354, Mr. Two Noobs says. So thank you very much. Let's get to that top 2. Let's find out who top 2 is. Let's check it out. Let me go ahead and find that. Let me pull that up. Buy some time. Come up with a dance. Here we go. Number 2.
Samich, dark summoning. It's OP and it needs to get fixed. What are we doing?
Jeez. So I'm gonna get to that in just a second. First of all, shout out Be Easy. Him and I have actually been swapping our Gen Zeros for pairs. And when I was out last week, I was like, listen, man, I don't have time. I just sent my Gen Zero to him. I was like, please don't rug me. Just summon with it. Send me whatever is my share. And he sent me my hero back. Like, shout out that guy. In terms of dark summoning, I do think it is OP, but you have to view that in the context of, like, in what context is it OP? Well, I think it's going to be OP in PvP, but Workhorse has said a Dread Knight, just because you have a Dread Knight with a Transcendent skill doesn't necessarily mean you're going to, like, you could be beat by people with basic heroes. So I say it's OP in the sense that if you follow a strat that I've been doing for a very long time, which is you're not really going for class mutations, you're just trying to hit the primary class you want, the subclass you want, and the rarity you want with a greater stone. You're hitting. I have heroes that are hitting over 100% roll on the dexterity on the primary, and like 72, 80 on the secondary roll, and so their dex is going to be OP for sure. And I'm going to crap on all of you.
Are these archers or Phobos?
Archers. I just go, archers with a warrior, pirate, or archer subclass. Any one of those 3 subclasses with a greater dex stone, your roll without a crystal is gonna be 37-ish%, and then with your greater crystal,
sure,
hitting 72% of your secondary rolls.
Punch alpha.
Yeah, bull on some punch alpha for sure.
Punch alpha. What did you think of that punch alpha, Kupo?
Wow, I was not expecting that. It's been a while since I've seen half of these, so when you bring it up and bring it back, it's like, wow, like that was actually said at one point. So yeah, that was definitely something that I was not expecting to be on your top 10, nor that I even remember that one, honestly. And like I said, I've watched so many of these things, so that was quite a surprise, to be honest with you.
I think what really did it for me was Maddie taking notes after this, and it's been a strategy that I don't know that that Samich coined said strategy, but it's one that's certainly been replicated time and time again by many of people. So that one was very interesting for me. We're down to our top 1, Kupo. What do you think? Give me your rundown so far.
Wow, so we've had quite a number of our guys already up here on here. I saw your other hot take list, so I got to see so many people already, which was phenomenal. It was great to see so many of, like, our community members already in there, some that are in the chat here, others that we talk to on a regular basis. Who do you think who's number 1? Wow, this is so unfair. I can only choose 1. Can I choose maybe 5 that I might be in there?
Let's narrow it down to 5. Let's see.
All right, let's see here. So if I'm going to narrow it down to 5, I'm going to throw my hat into Brown Gent. I'm going to put Ogre up there. I'm going to say Wowie. Let's see here. I'm going to put... Can I just put the entire Mythic squad in there? No. So I'm going to put 6 intern and Biavel. Let me see here. Who haven't I said? No, I'm going to say Shane just because. So let's see if any of those might be what I'm thinking. It might be a possible hot take.
Let's find out. But before take number 1, let's go ahead and just thank everyone who commented on the last video. Thank you very much. You're featured here below. If you want to see your name here next time around, feel free to leave a comment on the video. I will say I cheated a bit, guys. You're going to get rugged no matter what. I couldn't pick just a top 1. There's a tie for number 1. I'll let you all decide who is the true 1 winner. You guys can debate that. Maybe in the chat box. And as Diamondback says here, Rugged Sarge number 1. That may be indeed part of the rug. Let's find out.
Put me to shame. Show me a wild card here. Show me something I didn't say. Wow, I'm actually very excited here. What do we got?
Let's see. Well, you'll hear it, and if you've seen all my shows, you may not be surprised. Let's take a walk down memory lane. Let's see one of those number ones.
Your take, you see someone, what is your 1 minute DFK sub?
All right, if you are drawn to nostalgic fantasy style books, lore, or video games, and you're looking for that in the world of Web3, DeFi Kingdoms is right for you. It has powerful assets that appreciate in value. You have marketable opportunities everywhere. You could be a supplier, you could be a fighter, you could be a trader. You can do all sorts of different things with the in-game economy. There's a community. There's a community that actually cares about people, treats them like their brothers and sisters, calls them their family. This is the best community out in the space. And there's an amazing development team. They're smart, talented, and dedicated.
There is no way I can top that. That was beautiful. Simple, sweet, to the point. Wait, that was beautiful. Raph, I kind of wish I would have put. Can I make him number 6? Like that was beautiful. Like, wow,
Yeah,
you got me. That was incredible.
You needed a top 6 and you missed, Ralph. You know what? You needed a top 7.
Yeah, I probably needed like a top 20 to be honest with you. Like I was just like even like crying a little bit inside. Like, oh, did I say 5? Maybe I should have said 10 because there's just so many people. It's like everybody just does so much for this community. Like even our like talkers in the chat, like even if they've never shown their face, you guys are such amazing winners. Like everybody, in my opinion, is a winner. To just choose one, like I said from the start, it's just unfair because there is so much we contribute. I've said it before, this is a stone soup type of project. Everybody puts in something, you know, we're all participating, we're all contributing, we're all winning together. So that was beautiful. And Raph summed it up simple and sweet, right to the point.
And I must say there was a tie, and you'll see why there was a tie. I had a hard time deciding between the two of them. I couldn't pick between the two. It had to be two. Who had the better take? I'll let you decide. But both of these takes were passionate. Let's just hear it. Let's just hear it, and I'll let you decide. And we can talk through it here in a second. We can have sort of a cathartic moment together. Let's hear it. It's a bit of a long one, but it's a good one.
Be worth it.
I'm gonna channel my inner Grady right now. Sell your kidneys, mortgage your house, sell your wife, sell a couple of kids, and load up on Jewel, baby. Oh my God, it's at 18.2 cents. What the hell are people thinking? I mean, Ogre is exactly right. If you want to make an outsized bet right now, Jewel's deflationary, it's going down. It was cut in a quarter. We've also, two guys got Crystal and Jade. How the hell did Crystal and Jade get to 3 cents and 5 cents? I can summon a hero right now for $1. 32 Jade? Are you freaking kidding me? $1 for a hero? This is the ultimate time to be in DeFi Kingdoms. I just really can't believe it. Today felt like the Perilous Journey Part 2 to me. I was like loading up my heroes to get their genes rerolled. I was a little bit scared because I had some flashbacks to PJ where, you know, you put 100 heroes on a boat and only 40 of them are coming back. And I was like, oh my God, is this really going to be worth it? But to Ogre's point, the DFK team has always made things worth it for the community. They can't control the price, they can't control what happens, but they can control what they do. The tokenomics are there. I mean, the way that Hubert and the team have gone about making this game now extremely, extremely beneficial. That Jewel token is so ripe and juicy. I can tell you myself, I bought $1,000 the other day. It went up 20 cents. I was like, damn it, we need some more liquidity in Jewel. So I was like, okay, this is what we got to do. We got to get more people into the game. And what we've been talking about the entire time, Sergeant, is how do we get more people into Web3? How do we get them in here? How do we onboard them? How do we get them excited about it? This is the perfect time to get excited. I talked to Risen a little bit about getting the next Chaos Cast on. I would love to get the USDC Challenge folks back in there to talk to Humphrey, to talk to Zabu, to talk to Brown Jen, everybody that was on the panel. I can't believe that Umfreak made over 100% over 100% in 30 days on his money. That's a 1,200% APY. You know, that's just unbelievable. That's just things that don't happen every day. So we need to get some more excitement. We need to get some more energy. We need to get everybody excited and playing and enjoying. And this Gene reroll was exceptional. We all want NFTs with utility. We got NFTs now with even more utility. Starbuck and the Mythics should be extremely happy because everybody's gonna want a pet. When I started looking at those crafting bonuses, I was like, I went right out to the hatchery and I was like, how do I match up this tailor with a pet that's gonna help me here, my goldsmith or with a gold, you know, I was just looking at those, and I'm buying pets right now like it's going out of style. This is the time to go out there, get those pet bonuses while you can, because once that utility comes out and we have to feed them and the utility and everything starts going up in value, oh my gosh, it's going to be exciting. I'm so stoked right now. And by the way, I just passed up 2,000 heroes. So Grady, I think I'm ahead of you now. I'm at 2,021 heroes. So I put my money where my mouth is with this game. I love it. I'm excited. This is going to be a big year, and we're going to just see huge things in the future. So get on board.
Bonus points for Christian. I know I don't get to assign points, but I'm buying Jewel right now.
What do you think of that, Cooper?
Wow. KP, I could say this because you're in the chat room. I love it when you go Grady on us. Like, your brains with his energy is lethal. So we had ourselves Ras, simple, sweet, to the point with like some moving words. And then you got KP bringing big brain energy to the table. Wow. I can see why we have ourselves like such good like number ones here. This is great. That was just wonderful. Very well done. Very well produced.
Absolutely. Shout out to everyone who joined us today. Swiss Crypto, Freak, welcome. You were on there a couple of times. If you didn't see, feel free to recatch it on the rewind there. Ogre, Maddie, Sticks Intern, Zabu, Beeve, everyone, KP. Thanks for joining us today. It's been such a great sort of 2023, and I can't wait to see what 2024 looks like. And what I will say is 2,000 plus euros. Yeah, that was 2,000 plus euros months ago. I think last I heard is well over 4,000. I mean, maybe I may be making that up, but that is a man who puts, you know, his money where his mouth is. I think it's sort of cool too. Now he's officially part of the team. So I want to, hey, the fact that he's saying that, I thought was extra, maybe funny for you all. But I mean, I just super passionate, super awesome. What did you think of the top 28, Kupo?
Wow, like I said, it's like the just filter through all this was just incredible. Like, you had to be on the edge of my seat, like, for every single one, from Maddie's rants to Wowie's wisdom to KP's energy to what Ogre had to offer, from what Grady had to produce. Like, everybody is just incredible. So a big round of applause for everybody who just did anything with you this year as far as your streams go, and just like I said, our wonderful community, our great chat panel. We got so many winners here. We got such a great team. We got such a great community. This was a beautiful stream tonight, Sarge. Thank you for going down memory lane here. I was very thrilled with what you picked out.
2024, what are you looking forward to?
Just succeeding, honestly. I mean, we've been in this bear for so long. I mean, it's like, what's a bull? Is that something that exists still? It's like, I've been like on the back burner for a while. It's been on a downward trend for me. I've had myself a few wins here and there, but I'm not anywhere near at the starting line that I was supposed to be. So I never really had that win moment. So I kind of want to, I know people are probably joking because of the contest things, but I would really like to see us to get into like an actual bull run and actually thrive as a community. So everybody can be spurting out their wins and be like, look what I got. Look what I got. Your 30 cents hero might be worth $30 in another couple of months, So I like to see us all win and all succeed. And I want us to do it as a community with all the great family and friends that we've actually made along the way. And I want us all to succeed and just shoot ahead in 2024. So let's hope that bull is right around the corner with everything that we got planned with crypto that's coming out, with everything that DeFi's got coming out. Let's just hope that we're all going to be there and we're still remembering where we were at this exact minute right now.
Absolutely. And as Diamondback says, let's hope that maybe Dreamer kicks it there in the arse. Anyhow, yeah, no, it's been great. I loved everything we've done. I think we're trying to sort of collectively take this up a notch, just have fun with it. Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Sarge?
I see that. I think I'm not sure whose stream that is. That might be you, Kupo.
What?
But this is great. I think. No, is that me? I'm not sure.
Was that me? I got something going on?
I don't know what's going on. I'm hearing some feedback on the back end. But if you're not hearing it, Kupo, are you not hearing that?
No, I don't hear any feedback. Was it my side?
That's just must be just my end. Disregarded. I can play
Okay,
through
well,
it.
they didn't hear it, so that's a good sign. My mic was
Beautiful.
messing up just before we came in here, so I wouldn't throw that out.
No worries. Any parting words, Kupo?
Well, we got ourselves a new year, everybody. We got ourselves new opportunities. Remember who we are. Be kind to another. Like I said, even when we're beating the snot out of each other in PvP, we're here as a community. We're here to thrive. We're here to work together. Let's do so. Let's have ourselves a great 2024, and let's all succeed together.
I realized what was happening. I was hearing KP's number one take playing over. I had to find where that take was coming from. I was like, I hear KP. Where is he? No, I'm glad. No, absolutely. I'm looking forward to an awesome 2024 with all of you. Like I said, honest to God, if you're interested in coming on, feel free to jump on. I mean, come on, hang out. Again, if you didn't make the top 20 or 45, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything necessarily. What it means is that, you have an opportunity to come back and maybe make a, provide a hot take for 2024. Kupo, it's been awesome. It's been great. I've enjoyed putting this stream together. Here's for an awesome 2024 for everyone who's here today, for everyone who donated. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. And until next time, for Kupo and myself, catch you next time.
Later, everybody.